Got my tinfoil hat on to protect my dome from the alien signals. Hi, my name is Nathan, and I'm back with another very untimely book review. This book came out in 2008 or 2009, I think, but it is The Three-Body Problem by a Chinese author who I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but here it is. And it was originally written in Chinese and translated to English. So the core plot... My dad's calling me, so I gotta answer the phone. Okay. Love you. Bye. Back to the video. So what is the three-body problem? My chair's really squeaky, so I apologize if you can hear that. It's probably going to happen throughout the video. But the three-body problem is a hard sci-fi book. It revolves around this mysterious virtual reality game. It revolves around a dying alien civilization and a cult of worshippers on Earth. Now, one of the stronger aspects of the story is that it interweaves some parts of recent Chinese history into the story. You know, for example, the Cultural Revolution plays a part in the story, and honestly, that's the most interesting part of this whole book. In fact, I wish the author had doubled down on that part and given us more of the Cultural Revolution and kind of interwoven it more and made that more part of the alien thing. But that part was well done. I liked that, and it was fascinating, and it made me want to learn more about Chinese history. Now, the other aspect of the story is it's very science heavy. You know, this is a hard science fiction book. So hard, in fact, that sometimes it feels like you are reading a Wikipedia article. There's some big brain science concepts going on and some exploration of like some of the author's ideas about the universe and physics. But you really have to suspend your disbelief because I'm not sure how much of it is grounded in reality. Some of it definitely approaches absurdity, and some of the book, I don't know, some of the science stuff was like a little far out there. But it was fun, you know, it was fun to get your brain massaged. It was fun to get some more science shoved in there and some ideas to kind of expand your scope and make you feel small in the universe. So again, I think the aspects of the Chinese cultural history, I think the aspects of the science were done really well and made the book fun. Now let's talk about some of the weaknesses of the book and the things that I didn't like. We'll start with the characters. The characters felt so bland. They did things that normal people wouldn't do. They reacted in ways that normal people wouldn't react. They were very two-dimensional. They felt very wooden, and they really only served as mouthpieces for the author to kind of convey more of his philosophy or to shove more science in our faces. So they just didn't feel real. I didn't have any emotional connection to them at all. They just existed and were there to move the story forward, but they weren't really the main point of the book. The main point of the book was definitely the science stuff and not the characters. Which brings me to the other aspect of the book that fell pretty flat for me was the plot. The plot was not that good. It was kind of meandering. It jumped back and forth between time. It just never really went where I thought it was going to go. You know, you read the synopsis and you're like, wow, this is going to be a really cool thriller about aliens and government conspiracies. And it just wasn't that. I honestly don't know really where it was trying to go. It just felt pretty meh. The plot was pretty bleh. Just didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't very fun. And that the other part of the book that was pretty weak was like the actual prose. There was a lot of monologuing. I already talked about how some of the characters felt really bland. It just wasn't really a very fun read. Now, I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt because, again, it was translated from Chinese to English, so maybe like some stuff got lost in translation or it reads better in Chinese. But for me, it was just pretty boring. You know, aside from the science stuff and aside from kind of the Chinese history, the story just wasn't very fun. It could have been so much better. There's so much to work with, and it started out on such a good foot that it just felt so disappointing in the end. I expected so much more from it, especially because of all the praise and hype it's getting. You know, if I were to talk about my recommendation for the book, it'd be pretty low. I'm going to rate it probably a 4 or a 5. You know, if you really like science and you really want to read big brain science stuff and have your mind expanded, then maybe this is a good book for you. But if you are actually reading because you want to enjoy a story and you want to have like some emotional connection to the characters and you want to feel things, then this is not the book for you. So again, maybe like a 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I really don't get the praise that this book is receiving. You know, I think there's like a Netflix deal coming out or some kind of movie or something. So hopefully they take some artistic liberty with that And this is kind of the first time I'm actually saying that, because I usually prefer them. The movies are more closely related to the books, but in this instance, I think they need to really, like I said, take some artistic liberty with the movie and make it a little bit better, because the book was not that good. So I'm on the fence. Read it if you like hard sci-fi. Read it if you're a physicist and you want to like laugh about some of the ideas in here. But if you're just in it for the story, this isn't the book for you. If I were to recommend an alternative book, kind of in the same vein, it would be Ender's Game. Now, Ender's Game is a phenomenal book, but if you go beyond Ender's Game into the sequels, there's two branches. There is The Children of the Mind, and then there's Ender's Shadow. I'm talking about the Children of the Mind series that kind of follows Ender's Wiggin and delves a lot more into philosophy and alien civilizations and things like that. For some reason, this book reminded me of that book, and it made that book seem a lot better because of like the multiple paths you can follow with the Ender series. I think Children of the Mind is generally regarded as like the worst path, but this book made that series feel so much more enjoyable and better, and stand out to me, that I would say, hey, if you're looking for a book that philosophizes about science and aliens, then go read the Ender's series and the Children of the Mind branch. So that's all I got for you. Pretty kind of long-winded rant, but yeah, the end. So do you agree or do you disagree with me? If you think this book is really good, because again, there was a lot of high praise for this book. There's a lot of good ratings on Goodreads. If you're one of those people, tell me why you like it. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong. I'm open to your opinion. I want to know. What do you think? Let me know below. Live long and prosper. I don't know what a good outro is. I'm out.